Okay, so let's see what's going on with the Wongs this month.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so our scenario says Paige and Leo are on the bus.
Okay.
They're on their way home from school. So they're done school and they're going home.
Okay, and Paige, she must be looking at her phone, checking her email, because she says something that I've said before. She says, I hate these chain letters. Yeah. And then she asks sort of the world, or at least Leo, why do people keep sending them, right? This is a common complaint. Why do people do this? Why do they send these chain letters? A chain letter is one of those things that someone might send you, and it has some kind of good advice, some kind of life advice. And then it says you have to forward this message, this email, or this letter to at least 3 people in 1 day, in 24 hours, or 2 days, or else you will have bad luck. So the idea is you will spread it to 3 friends, they will spread it to 3 friends, and so on until everyone gets it. Now you can ignore it.
You could.
But then in the back of your mind is that idea, well, if I ignore it, if I don't send on the chain letter, I might get some bad luck. Why is it called a chain? Because a chain is one of those things made up of links that are joined together, and it gets longer and longer. In this way, we are the chain as the letter travels down.
So Leo has heard about chain letters before, and he gives Paige some advice,
What does he say?
He says you should forward them or something bad will happen. Okay, so the verb forward, which we talked about earlier, means to send something, such as a letter or a message to someone else. For example, if Mike sent me an email with a funny joke or maybe a funny cat picture, I might want to forward or send that email to a friend of mine so they could enjoy it, okay? This is different from reply, R-E-P-L-Y, reply, right? If you reply an email, for example, I would be sending Mike a message back telling him how funny his email was, like, ah!
Exactly. When we're forwarding, usually the email came to us. We didn't write it. We're just passing it on. So think of forwarding as passing on something that came from another person. All right, so Leo, he thinks if Paige doesn't forward the email, well, yeah, something bad could happen. And of course, we don't want bad things to happen. This word happen is a word power word. It's spelled H-A-P-P-E-N. Yes, so happen is a verb. And when an action takes place, when there is a verb going on, we say that something happens. If you sit in a room by yourself and stare at a wall, nothing is going to happen. But if someone walks in, if a cat jumps out, if you turn on the TV, or even lie back to take a nap, something is going on, something is happening. For example, what happened to your shirt? There's a hole in it. What happened to your shirt? There's a hole in it.
Okay, so Paige doesn't forward chain letters, though. She says, I just ignore them. Okay, so to ignore something means to pay no attention to it. So maybe either she just keeps it in her inbox, or maybe she doesn't send it, or, hey, Mike.
Sorry, I was ignoring you. I would never ignore you. All right, so she ignores the chainmail. I kind of do that too.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm still alive.
Well,
nothing bad happened to me.
That's true.
Yet. Anyways, next in our scenario, it says, the Wongs wake up the next morning. The front door is open. That's very strange. Of course, most people close and lock their door at night. Now, Mrs. Wong, she sees this. She sees the front door is open, and she says, why is the front door open? It's a very, very good question. Yes, and here we have another word, power word, and that word is front. F-R-O-N-T, front. Front is an adjective, and we use this to talk about things, to talk about shapes, to talk about things that we can look at from many different sides. If I'm standing here talking to you, you are looking at my front. Behind me, this would be my back. So if you want to see a person's face, you have to walk around to the front of them. If you're walking up to someone's house, you'll probably go through the front door. If you know them very well, you might go through the back door or climb through a window, but that would be weird. As you're driving down the street, you will be facing front, and the front of your car will be the part that's ahead of you. It's the part that's in the face or in the front. For example, the baby smiled and showed her 2 front teeth. Aw, the baby smiled and showed her 2 front teeth. Okay. So the front door is open.
And Mr. Wong, he's really confused too.
Yeah.
He says, I have no idea. He doesn't know what's going on. And then he says, I remember locking the door before I went to bed.
Right.
Okay, so if you lock the door, people from the outside cannot come in unless they have a key.
That's right. And Mrs. Wong says that is very strange. Luckily, she says nothing happened. So it's good luck that nothing was stolen, nothing bad happened overnight.
Next, our scenario says, Grandpa walks into the kitchen, okay? And his glasses are broken.
Oh, no.
And then Paige asks Grandpa, what happened to your glasses, Grandpa? So here we see our third word, power word, glasses. G-L-A-S-S-E-S. Glasses. It's a noun. Glasses are made of special glass and it's held together by a frame, which is that metal or the plastic part of the glasses. And glasses help people to see things more clearly. For example, Sean cannot see without his glasses. Sean cannot see without his glasses.
So Grandpa says, I don't know. So he doesn't know what's happened to his glasses. Very strange.
And then Mr. Wong, I guess they're kind of finished breakfast or whatever, and he says, I'm going to work now.
Oh, okay.
Goodbye. Okay, so he waves goodbye to his family. Ooh, and in the next scene, we see that Mr. Wong, he slips on a banana peel.
Oh no, so he was walking on the street, someone dropped a banana peel or a banana skin, and he falls down, and Mrs. Wong, of course, is worried. She says, are you okay?
Okay, so Mr. Wong probably has a sore butt, okay? Because he probably fell down, yeah.
Wow.
And he says, yes, I'll be fine. Here we see our fourth word, power word for today, fine. F-I-N-E, fine. If you're fine, you're okay. For example, everything is fine, don't worry. Again, everything is fine, don't worry.
All right, next in our scenario, it says that Paige meets Leo at the bus stop. And Paige says to Leo, Leo, I'm worried.
Ooh, she's worried.
Yeah,
okay.
She's nervous, she's upset, she's worried.
And Leo says, because he's a good boyfriend, he's like, what's wrong? What's wrong?
If something's bothering his baby, he wants to know. And Paige says, a lot of strange things happened this morning. The open front door, broken glasses, dad falling down.
Right.
These are strange things, and they all happened in a very short time.
Okay, so Leo, he remembers about that chain letter, okay?
Oh, no. Really?
So he says, it's that letter, I tell you.
Really?
We use the phrase, I tell you, when we want to say something is true, although it's hard to believe. I know you don't really buy it. You don't think it's the chain letter, do you?
You might use that phrase to convince someone, to make them believe you when they're finding that a little difficult. Anyways, so we're running out of time. I tell you. Well, that is absolutely true, and we need to go to our wrap-up right now. But there'll be more about this tomorrow. In the future, won't there? Yeah, yes, but we'll be back with our wrap-up, so we'll see you in a second.